Hi, welcome. This is a gentle and restorative practice to help us unwind and de-stress, especially in these times that can be pretty stressful going on right now. What you're going to need for this practice is a bolster, 3 blankets, and optionally an eye pillow or a towel, something to cover the eyes and help you drop in a little deeper in these poses. Now, I'm going to be using a bolster and some Mexican yoga blankets. After the video, I'm going to show some options on how to use some things around the house as props, like a couch cushion or other blankets that may not be the same as these. I like these blankets because they're a nice weave, a nice thick weave, so they are firm yet still soft, and they work really well for these poses. Any other blankets you have around the house can be used to adapt for these poses. So let's get started. I have set my bolster and 2 of my blankets on my eye pillow to the side. And I'm going to use 1 blanket, and I like to start from this kind of size, this square-ish size to begin with, as my base for all my folds. And I'm going to fold it once from there to create a nice platform to sit on for our opening meditation. That folded edge, not the uneven fringy edge, the more smooth folded edge forward, so I have something to sit, so I have a solid platform to sit up on. I'm going to sit up on that, elevate my hips. I'm ready to go. So find a nice, comfortable seat. Close your eyes. And begin to connect with your breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale slow and long. As you inhale, imagine that the belly is dropping and spilling forward as the diaphragm drops down. The rib cage expanding. As you exhale, the belly drop back in and slightly up to complete the exhale. Make sure you have a firm base in your seat. The shoulders are softly relaxing down the back. You start to create in your mind's eye a safe space. There's a bubble wrapping around you and your yoga mat and the room that you're in. Now, this is a safe, healing space for you. And only positive things and positive energy will find their way into your space. And then we can filter out negative or stale energies can leave this space. Just imagine for our entire practice that you are moving through, creating and breathing in this safe space. And join your palms together at your heart or your chin to your chest. See that safe space, that idea of safe space as your intention today. Let your head rise. Let your eyes blink open. And welcome to your yoga practice. Stay in your seat, sit nice and tall. Let's inhale, sweep the arms out, reach up overhead. Bring the palms together, exhale, hands through center to the heart. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, bring the hands through center. 1 more of these, inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, hands through center. And then inhale, reach out and up. Keep rooted in your seat. Bring the right hand to the floor and reach up and over with the left. Nice tall side stretch. Rooting the left side, reach into the left fingertips. Doesn't matter how far over you go, just create space and lift. And fill that with breath. Inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale to the other side, left hand down, reach up and over with the right, rooting to the right, sitting bone, reach into the fingertips. Keep the jaw soft. Feel the expansion of the breath. Soften to the exhales. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, hands to center to release. Let's switch the cross of the legs to balance out our hips. Re-root, sit up tall. Inhale, reach out. Palms together, exhale, hands through center. One more this time. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, palms to the center. Let's add some twisting. Inhale, reach out. Twisting to your right. Left hand can come to the knee, right hand can come behind you. Root through the seat. Lengthen through the crown. Use your breath. Inhale, taller. Exhale, softer. Next, inhale, back to the center, reach up. And twist to the left, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. You can even press down gently with those hands to help you grow taller. Inhale, grow. Exhale, soften. Next, inhale, back to the center, reach up. Exhale, hands through center and release. Moving into our first restorative pose, gentle mountain brook. We need both of our blankets and our bolster, and optionally the eye pillow. I'm going to take one blanket from the back of my mat, and that will become a pillow for my head. I'll take the other two, again, at this square shape fold here. And I'm going to stack them in a stair-step fashion. So a folded edge facing where my head will be, with about 1 inch or 2 of stair-step from the bottom to the top blanket. And my bolster is going to go crossways on the mat as a support for my knees. So we'll come up, sit on our stacked blankets, bring the legs up over the bolster. You can always adjust where this is. And we want the blanket, the top blanket, that edge, to hit right here behind the shoulder blade. Right here below the shoulder blade. So as I come back, I can reposition myself. Use my arms to help me. Right here you can see I'm a little too far toward my feet. I'm going to scoot back so my shoulder blades can come off of the blanket onto the floor. And the blanket is under that space of my ribcage just beneath or just south of the shoulder blades. I'm going to bring this blanket underneath my head and possibly add the eye pillow or towel, anything you have to just kind of block out the light and offer a little more gentle softness to the eyes and the face. Arms extend out alongside the body, palms up. You may take a few breaths or a few moments to be able to relax and settle into the pose. So return to your breath here. Let yourself yourself melt into the blankets, into the floor. Come back to that image of your safe space. Start creating in your imagination, in your visualization practice, your safe place. What does it look like? Is it perhaps a mountain scene or a beach, cozy cottage, your home? As you breathe in this gentle mountain brook pose, begin to see this safe space come alive in your mind's eye. Create the details. Imagine that you are standing in this space, looking around, a space that makes you feel at home, comfortable, and relaxed as you continue to soften down into the pose. few more deep breaths in this pose. Notice how things in the body and the breath may have softened or shifted throughout our time here. Has your vision of your safe space faded? Or have you been able to create a more vivid picture and back to that safe space as we prepare to move and transition? And from here, as you're ready to move, bend your knees, plant your feet on the bolster. Carefully root into the feet and start to lift the hips up into a gentle bridge, grabbing the blankets and easily slide them out from underneath and then rolling back down onto the flat mat. Take a pause here for a couple breaths. Letting the spine reset after that long hold. And sometimes it takes a little bit to transition in between poses after a long hold, and coming to a neutral space like this can be nice. I'm going to add a gentle yoga flow from here as an option. From here, as you inhale, the belly expand, the tailbone rock down toward the floor, so your low back comes up off the ground a little bit. Then exhale, bring the belly button toward the spine, and start to press the low back gently toward the ground. Firm to the feet, inhale from the tailbone first, rolling up into a gentle bridge, lifting the hips up. And then exhale, roll the spine back down toward the floor. Let's repeat that. Inhale, tailbone rolls down toward the floor, the low back lifts. Exhale, press the low back toward the ground. Inhale, continue that motion as we roll from the tailbone, lifting into a gentle bridge. Exhale, roll the spine back down. Two more. Inhale, roll the tailbone down, the low back lifts. Exhale, low back toward the floor, belly button toward the ground. Power through the legs. Inhale, lift the hips up. Doesn't matter how high they get. Exhale, roll it down. One more time. Inhale, roll the tailbone toward the floor, the low back lifts. Exhale, belly button toward the floor, low back presses to the ground. Inhale, roll the spine up, bridge. Exhale, roll it down, and pause. As you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. If you like, you can rock and roll from the back to roll up to sit, or you can follow me and roll to your side. Press the top arm and gently press your way up to a seated position. And then preparing for our next pose, I'll take the bolster off to the side. And I'll place one of my blankets from the square fold it in half one time so it can fit lengthwise or crosswise on top of that bolster. I'll set my other blanket next to that. The blanket I have for my head. I'm going to fold once and put this aside. We're going to do another little gentle flow to prep for our next pose. Then come back onto my mat and grab either my shins or behind my thighs. Then come back onto my mat and grab my knees. Inhale here. I'm going to exhale, roll back. I'm going to inhale, roll back up to sit. I'm going to let my knees open as I sit up tall. Exhale, maybe reaching, folding forward. So I inhale, roll up, grab my knees, pick them up. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, roll up, let my knees open. Exhale, maybe reaching forward, warming my hips and my spine. Inhale, roll up, grab the knees. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, roll up, open the knees. Exhale, optional forward reach. Two more. Inhale up, grab the knees, pick them up. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, roll up, the knees open. You can use your own pace if you like. Inhale up, grab the knees. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, roll up, open the knees. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, roll back up. Let's stay here. Grab the knees, pick them up. And we'll set up for our resting half butterfly. So I've already folded this blanket. It's going to be the elevation for my seat. So again, folded edge forward, right, the fringes of the uneven edge toward the back. And I come up to sit on that. This next blanket is optional. I've got some knee stuff sometimes, so I'm going to roll this blanket up. And bring it in the middle of the mat. And I'm only going to roll it part way, so I only have a little bit of elevation for my knee. I'm going to straighten my right leg. Bring that blanket just under where my knee would fold. And I take my other leg out to the side with that knee falling open. If you have some knee or hip pain, you can also bring something, a blanket, a block, something underneath this left knee as well for support. I'm going to sit nice and tall here, root my sit bones, and then I'm going to take my bolster with my stacked blanket on top of my leg. There's many options here. We can add more elevation, more blankets. I can keep this blanket lengthwise. I can also turn it crosswise as just a pillow for my head. I'm going to leave it here. You can also not use the blanket if you feel comfortable that way. I'm going to inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, bring my elbows onto this bolster. There's a little bit of imbalance here because it's only balancing on one leg. So it can be a little bit tricky there. And with my elbows down, palms together. Option one, thumb to third eye point, relaxing here. Breathing down my back, breathing down the back of my right leg. Option two, maybe I bring my palms to my forehead. And option three, maybe I fold all the way in. I can relax my head and turn it to the side. We also have this blanket crosswise. I just bring my forehead onto that elevated blanket where I have space to breathe through my nose and my mouth. And once you're set up, just relax into it. Let the shoulders soften, the face soften. And come back to that deep, slow, calming breath. As we're here, continuing to see that safe space, come back to that image you began to create. Maybe begin to move around that space. What else is there beyond what you first were able to observe? Is there anyone else in the space with you? What feelings does it bring up in you to be in this safe, comfortable place? As you're ready to come out, you can bring your hands to the floor or the bolster. Use the arms to help rest yourself up. I'm going to set my bolster set up to the side. Grab my left knee, pick it up, and extend both legs out. And I can give them a little shake out, a little rotation back and forth, just to ease up from being in that pose for a while. We'll get ready for side two. I'm going to leave my blanket roll here because I'm going to keep using it for side two. Bring my right foot in to my left thigh, let that knee fall open. I'm going to check that my base of my seat is rooted firm. I'm going to grab my bolster set up once again. So again, you choose how many blankets you have here. Sit up nice and tall. And then step one, elbows to bolster. Thumbs to that third eye point. This one's great because it kind of connects us to that third eye chakra, a place of foresight and intuition. Kind of activate a little of that space and also maybe relieve some of the tension we have in between the eyebrows. A lot of us hold some stress there. Option two, palms. Resting the forehead in the palms. You can always start in one option and switch it up. You can go deeper and then back away. You can start here and go deeper later. If it's right for you, maybe we fold in, turn the head to the side, or using this crosswise blanket to leave room and space to breathe. Arms can relax. Sometimes people like to hug the bolster. I like to just relax them onto the ground. Continuing to breathe down the back, down the leg, soften the shoulders. What other qualities can you notice in this safe space that you're creating around yourself today? Are there any sounds in this space, like an ocean wave or a breeze? What is the temperature? Is it warm? Is it cool? Continue to explore and move. Imagine you're walking through this space, feeling its calming energy washing through you. As you're ready to move, carefully bring the hands to the floor or the bolster. Use them to help rest yourself up. Set our bolster set up to the side once again. Grab that right knee, pick it up. Extend the right leg, and again, support yourself with the hands behind you. You can point and flex the toes, rotate the legs, let it go. I always like to come off of my mat so I can reset my props for the next pose. So I come to the side. And set up for our gentle bridge. I have a blanket for my head at the top of my mat. These other two blankets I can set aside at this point. I have my eye pillow handy by because I'm going to use that for this one. And then my bolster crosswise on my yoga mat. If the bolster is too much or whatever cushion you're using is too much, you can use one or two of these folded blankets as an alternate option. I'll show that later. From here, I'm set up, I'm ready. I'm going to sit on my bolster, facing away from the blanket I have set up for my head. And we're going to want this bolster to come across the sacrum. So it's not the low back, it's the sacrum. I'm going to slide my hips or my sit bones from the bolster and ease my way. I'm using some core strength and some arm strength. Ease my way back to the ground. I'm going to keep my knees bent for now and bring that blanket underneath my head as that additional support. And this is enough. This is great right here. I'm going to find my eye pillow and use that to give me that extra little release, that extra little softening. I love an eye pillow. And then for a little more intensity in this one, there is the option to let both legs straighten out on the floor. For me, that sometimes starts to fire up some discomfort in my hips or low back, so I prefer this with the knees bent. You're welcome to try both, and you're welcome to switch partway through if you like. Let the shoulders be soft. And return to your breath. Very gentle back bend. Very gentle front body lengthener. As you sink into the pose, come back to our meditation on that safe space. Exploring the vivid colors, continuing to take in the sounds, even smells, the textures. So allow yourself to completely drift into this safe place. To feel your body, your mind, and your heart softening into that place where you feel supported. And enjoying the stillness of the pose. from here, we're going to add an optional gentle yoga variation, a passive hip flexor stretch. So if your legs are straight out, you can keep one of them straight, the left leg straight, and hug the right knee in. If your knees are bent, you can send the left leg straight and hug the right knee. So we all end up in the same position. Drawing the right knee in, letting the left leg be heavy, the heels on the floor, that thigh bone sinks heavily down, getting to feel this lengthening, this extension to the front of that hip. As I draw the right knee in, it may help to stretch around that outer right hip a touch. We'll breathe it here for several breaths. If you find this one problematic, it can be done without the bolster as well. You can take the bolster out for this one. Just a few more breaths here. Let's switch sides. So release the right foot, plant it on the floor. Bend the left knee. Let's draw that left knee in. And extend the right leg straight out on the ground. Let that right thigh sink heavy toward the ground. The right heel is on the floor. As you gently, any amount, draw that left knee in toward the chest. Let the leg be heavy, let the shoulders be heavy. Imagine that your breath flowing in to the crown of the head, down to the front of the body, and the front of that right thigh, helping to soften through those hip flexors. Melt yourself away here. One more big inhale here. Exhale, release the left foot to the ground. Bend the right knee to the right foot. Tricky transition here. I want to keep the bolster for under my knees, so I just want to move it away from my head. So I'm going to ground my feet, lift my hips a little bit, and then use my hands to push the bolster away. I might have to lift up on my toes, or move my feet a little farther out, or I may take a couple of tries. And where I want this to end up is that the bolster just catches the bottoms of my thighs to my knees. I'm going to leave this set up. You notice I've kept my eye pillow on this whole time, and you're welcome to if that works for you. And from here, I'm going to bend both my knees and plant my feet on the bolster as wide as the bolster, so my feet are far apart from one another. I take my arms away from my body a little bit and do a little flowing windshield wiper twist. So we inhale here in the center. And exhale, let the knees fall over toward the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, the knees to the left. On your own time, we inhale to the center. Exhale, knees right. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees left. And take a couple more flows on your own pace. Next time the knees fall to the left, let them stay. This is a simple elevated twist. We'll hold here. If it feels too intense, if this left knee is falling too far toward the floor, we can grab one of our extra blankets that we set to the side earlier and maybe bring that underneath that knee and thigh for some extra support. That can be nice. Come back to your breath once you've settled in here. Breathing down the spine. Breathing down the side of the hip and the glutes. Letting any leftover tension begin to melt. As you're ready, carefully inhale the knees back through center and over to the right. You can take that blanket with you if you're using mats. Underneath that right knee and thigh and shin bone for extra support. And settle in. Notice the difference between the right and left sides here. Relax your jaw, space between the eyebrows. here, gently inhale the legs back up to the center and drop both knees into your chest. Give a little rock side to side, final release for the spine. Optional if you'd like, a happy baby. Bringing the knees toward the armpits, stacking the heels above the knees. You can grab feet or shins or behind the knees. Tailbone softens down, shoulders soften down. Just a few deep breaths here. And then gently draw your knees back into your chest. Give them a final squeeze. Inhale here. And exhale, send the knees up over the bolster for your final resting pose, Shavasana. Arms extend out alongside the body, palms turn up. Relax your jaw. And really find the most soft, most still place for the physical body here. Drifting back to your safe space. Maybe noticing new, minute details you haven't seen before. Just imagine yourself softening in that space. Relaxing in a place that you feel safe. Enjoying several minutes of stillness. begin to let your breath deepen. Begin to add little movements to fingers and toes. Circles to wrists and ankles, waking up the body. As you're ready, carefully draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice, gentle squeeze. You can carefully roll onto your side. Pause for a moment. As you're ready, head heavy, press the arms, make your way up to a nice, comfortable seat. You can bring a bolster or blanket underneath your sit bones for that tall, elevated seat. Join your palms together at your heart, to your chin, to your chest. Thank yourself for your time practicing relaxation here. Thank you for joining me for this gentle and restorative practice today. Om Shanti. Namaste. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube, or you can find me on Facebook, Yoga Trevor on Facebook. You can also find me on Instagram, Yoga Trevor on Instagram as well. Follow me, click subscribe. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Alternate props. I promised at the beginning I would show you some alternates to use. So here we go. I've got two blankets. One of them is a Mexican style. One of them is just a fuzzy blanket that I've had in my house for years. It's pretty firm. Size is different. It's a little bit different, but it can work. And I got a cushion for my couch. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier than my bolster, so I'm gonna have to modify a couple things to use it. So number one, when we're folding our blanket to sit on it, with this particular blanket, this is about as far as I'm gonna wanna go. I still have a nice smooth edge. If I try to go any farther, right, it's gonna be lumpy, it's gonna be weird, it's not gonna give me a good support. So whatever blanket you use, make sure you can get nice, flat, smooth folds. Gentle mountain brick pose. I can use anything really for my head that's comfortable. It could be a small pillow, it could be a small blanket. Just something to get a little cushioning and a little bit of a lift for the head to soften the neck and shoulders. For my gentle mountain brook, I'm gonna use my fuzzy blanket and my couch cushion. I'm not gonna give as much elevation as I had with the two stacked blankets. I could stack another one of these on top if I wanted, or I can just use this. Same setup, I just want enough space to be underneath my rib cage with my shoulder blades on the floor. It's gonna work a little bit differently with my couch cushion. It's so big, I'm not gonna be able to get my knees over it and my feet to the floor, and I want my feet to be supported. So I'm just gonna bring my shins and feet onto the pillow instead. So, my gentle mountain brook setup looks about the same. My shoulder blades just off the edge of the blanket. Then you may notice my shins and my feet are on the couch cushion. Just a slightly different setup, but I'm still supported. I've got that elevation in the legs. This blanket's a little bit bigger. I may want to bring my arms underneath the blanket just so my arms can be soft on the floor and I can get this opening of the chest. Resting half butterfly, gonna function almost the same. I folded it to that nice elevated seat. You can also, here's another alternate, use a yoga block. You can sit up on that yoga block as your elevated seat. If you don't have enough blankets around, if you happen to have a yoga block, a thick book, something just to sit up on that's, 3 to 4 inches tall. For this one, same setup, I elevate my hips. Take my right leg forward, my left knee open to the side, and I just bring that couch cushion on top of my thigh. I can start in any of the setups, the elbows, with the thumbs, with the palms, or all the way down. I can add extra blankets, extra pillows. This one's a little squishier, so I might want to add more because I'm kind of collapsing into it a bit. And play with it, explore, see what works for you. For the gentle bridge pose, this is going to be too big. It's too thick, too bulky. It's going to be underneath too much of my body. So I'm going to want to set that to the side for this one. And either use that yoga block or a stack of books or a solid firm book, or even just this blanket. I can fold it this way and get a nice kind of narrow but good lift for my pelvis. And this one then is the same thing. I come forward, I bring myself down, my sacrum is on my support, whatever it might be. I got that extra pillow, cushion, blanket for my head, my knees either bent or legs straight, whatever works. And then finally, for my final twist in Shavasana, option 1, use that blanket again. Right? I can do my twist with a gentle, smaller elevation of the blanket. I can have my Shavasana there. Or I can use my couch cushion. Just like before, I want to make sure, right, my feet are dangling off the end here. I want to make sure that my feet and shins are supported here. So I get a nice full support for my lower body here. It works the same for the twist. My feet pretty wide as I windshield wiper back and forth. So again, just a slight different placement if we're using a bigger pillow than one of these yoga bolsters. So that's just a couple tips with a couple alternate options. Be creative, see what you can use at home. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. I'm happy to answer questions and try to help you out. Thanks again for watching.